So here we go on the official platform now, and I again welcome all the delegates and the attendees of 11th Special Steels Convention and Expo. And I also welcome the dignitaries who have been who are with us for the inauguration session. And as you all know, we have been conducting this seminar, this event, Special Steels Convention for last 10 years. And out of that 10 years, I think 8 we have conducted in Pune at Lee Meridian or New Excelsior, whatever it is called, because Pune is a hub of all steel industries and auto component industries and also auto industries. So we have been we have thoughtfully selected Pune as a venue of Special Steels Conference, and I think most of you have earlier attended our Special Steels conventions in Pune. But actually, as you know, after COVID, the whole mindset of all people, all of us have changed, and we have dragged into digitalization, all of us, and it has not only changed the working in the industry or in the offices, but it has also changed the way of our living also. So in a way, digitalization has spread all over and has influenced every field of our operation. So obviously we have also shifted our operations on digital platform, our magazines, our conferences, and now in last December we have successfully done one exhibition also on digital platform, and that is how we have added this and expo to this Special Steels Convention. So it is Special Steels Convention and Expo, because there is an Expo part also associated with this conference, and it will go on till 10th of March, even if the conference is getting ended on the very same day. That's how it is, and I welcome all the delegates and dignitaries for this 11th Special Steel Convention. Special steels industry has been doing ups and downs, and now I think special steel industry is looking up for more production, more sophisticated grades. Like now we have stabilized the microalloyed steels also, and we are looking for different applications than automobile industry. Maybe we are looking at defense as a emerging market for special steels, or other aerospace, or engineering as a power industry. Power industry is one of the emerging markets for special steels, and that is how we discuss every year the status and the future prospects of our industry, special steels industry, which is very special. Though tonnage wise it is not very much, it constitutes around 10% of the total steel production in the country, but intricacy wise, metallurgically challenge wise, it is a very interesting industry to work with, and I have been fortunate that I have been associated with industry for last so many years. So here we go, and I would first request, we have dignitaries with us, and we have Mr. Paramjeet Singh, who is, I'll just read out his profile. He has got long career of 28 years in steel industry. He's BE Metallurgy from Punjab Engineering College, Chandigarh, with more than 28 years of experience. 28 years of experience include 1 year in non-ferrous field, 3 years in steel industry in the areas of EAF and LHF, melting and continuous casting section, QC, and 21 years experience in industrial consultancy and on-job training in the field of steel making, rolling mills, and reheating furnace, and more than 3 years in Ministry of Steel. Worked with the UNDP GEF project to implement a project for central, south, and western regions of India to reduce GHG emission in small re-rolling mill sector by implementation of energy efficient technology. Certified energy manager and energy auditor from BEE, Ministry of Power. Life member of Institution of Engineers. Presented papers on energy efficiency in various topics as guest faculty in the programs organized by MSME, CREDA, UNDP GEF programs. Carried out energy audits in the rolling mill units associated with investigative studies of productivity. And from my side, I would like to add that Paramjeet Singh has been has been a regular attendee to our iron and steel conferences in Raipur and elsewhere, and he has given many very useful and informative presentations there. So I would request Mr. Paramjeet Singh to address. Mr. Paramjeet Singh.
Thank you, Chandragiri. Thank you so much. First of all, I would like to thank you. Thanks to you that for calling on this 11th Steel Convocation Expo. And good morning to all the panel members as well as the participants. On the behalf of Ministry, it is my privilege to address the participants in this Special Steel Convention, where I was looking at wherein that the panel discussion will held on the future of special steel in India. But I think it is a very need of the day topic, which is need of the day topic. And discussion to be held regarding the opportunities and challenges to produce the special steel and value-added steel, and the you can say the production of special steel techniques and importance of this cleanliness of steel in the production of specialty. I think this is a very important you can say topics which is going to be covered. Before going further, I just want to give you a brief of the you can say our Indian steel sector. You know very well that India is the second largest steel producer as on date. We have surpassed Japan, though it is a long way China. But if we see ourselves, we compare ourselves with Japan, though we have surpassed Japan. But if we compare regarding the production of special steel or the quality steel which is being produced by the Japan, we are far behind them. So looking into that topic, I think, which is going to be covered, that it is going to be, you can discuss by the eminent speakers later in this convention. The special steel which is being produced by the Japan, we have seen that maximum import which is taking place as on date. If we see that total import of around 6.7 million ton took place in 2020-21. Out of 6.7, 4 million ton was of special steel. We see that percentage that is comes around 70%. So 70% steel is being imported, which is not being produced in the country. Though the quality and though the quantity of the steel being, you can say, imported is very low. We have observed, if you see that the Ministry of Steel is continuously having a technical committee meetings to look into the imports which is taking place. We found that maximum grades which are being imported, they are special. The quantity is very low, but the value is very high. So the potential is very, very much there. If we see that Ministry of Steel has already on the PLI policy, that is also going to support the special steel, and the large amount of investment is going to come by 2026, and we are aiming that production, we are aiming that we should increase the production by 3-fold or 4-fold by 26-27. Though looking into that, the potential of the production and the potential of the export, because if the material is being imported in our country through other countries which are producing a special steel, that means the potential is there. If we produce the maximum quantity of the special steel, the industry, what exactly industry has to do, because if they are not aware of this, that what sort of grades are being imported, I think we have already, you can say, uploaded maximum of the grades on our website. They can visit our website, they can see the special type of special steel being imported as on date. They can focus on the production of that steel and interact with the user industry. In last 6 months, what the ministry has done, because through this technical committee, from the technical committee, we have interacted with the importers, and we are asking them to create these facilities within the country, and lot of initiatives have been taken. I think Mr. Pranav will, you can say, may you can say indicate how many grades they have, you can say, developed since last 6 months with the intervention of the ministry. And looking into that, if we produce these type of grades within the country, we will be able to meet the requirement of the auto industry, defense, and the other area which is being actually basically to be looked into, that is the construction industry. I think the construction industry also need to think of it, that they have to go with the like micro light steel, so that we can use the special type of steel which have the higher strength with the less smaller sizes, which will further reduce the consumption of steel but increase the lifespan of the products. So this type of the areas which need to be, you can say, focused. I think the day deliberations, the speakers will focus on these areas. If you see, the Ministry of Steel have already enforced a quality control order, and Ministry of Steel is one of the top ministry, you can say, who has enforced a maximum quality control order on the steel and steel products. While enforcing these steel products, the industry has, you can say, the industry as well as the user industry has, you can say, aware of it now, that what is the quality of the steel and how the quality of steel being produced in the country, and how we have to focus on the country. To plug the import gap of the import, the PLI scheme is, as I told, the PLI scheme is being launched, and which will increase the further production capacity of the country, and we may become the one of the exporters for the special steel by 2000 after 2060, 2026 or 27. It is very important that the sector must be prepared for the next generation advancements and technologies. They should be aware of what advancements are taking place, because if you see the auto sector, a lot of advancements are taking place. So a lot of type of steels are going to be, you can say, required by them. So for that, industry need to have the regular interaction with the auto industry or any other industry, as it is, you can say, indicated by Mr. Chandekar, that the consumption of the special steel is going to be increased in the power by the power industry, even in the oil and gas industry. Lot of, because if we in future, if we are going to use the hydrogen, then maybe the special quality of the steels are required for the pipelines. So that focus area will be there. The opportunities are enormous. When if you see that opportunities are enormous, if there are opportunities are, then challenges will be there. How to overcome the challenge, that industry need to work. In that case, they have to have the interaction. Where we, I think, is one area which is lacking as on date, is that we have a very less, you can say, industry academia interaction. What we, as you know, that ministry having a scheme on the research and development. Whatever the proposal we receive, we are seeing that the industry participation is very minimum. Maybe because of that, the institutions are not approaching, or the industry is not approaching to the institution. So now in the new scheme, which is, you can say, revised in 2021, we have made it mandatory that whatever the proposal, if whether it is coming from the institution or any other R&D agency, they should have a industry partner in that. That will help us to, you can say, whatever the R&D is taking place, that will be utilized and to be used in the sector. So that will create a win-win situation for the institute as well as the industry. So this is basically already we are ministry is working for the sector, and wherever is required, we are very much open. If any institution or the industry wants to develop any of the grade which is not being produced, which have the challenges, they can come with a proposal to us. We are open with that, but definitely it should be. It should have the, you can say, tie up with the some institute and the industry. That should be there. With this, I the liberties all to leverage this platform and deliberate around the future technologies to make this sector more efficient and to produce quality steel, to make it globally competent and competent, to meet the nation's nation mission of Atmanirbhar Bharat and globally competitive supply chain system. With this, I again thank you, Mr. Chandekar, for giving me opportunity to speak on this platform, and I wish this webinar as a great success. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Paramjeet. And I see that ministry is taking a lot of initiatives, being with the industry, helping the industry. Facilitators role is the key role today of the Ministry of Steel. And I think I've been associated with ministry for many years, and I can see that ministry is really taking a lot of interest. I see the very good executives, right from Mr. Kashiwa and Mr. Ishtiar Das to Mr. S.K. Bhatnagar, and now Mr. Paramjeet Singh is taking the flag ahead of Ministry of Steel. Thank you very much, Mr. Paramjeet Singh. And yes, with your help and facilitation, industry has a long way to go. Now I invite Mr. Ramaswamy Visweswaran. Mr. Ramaswamy Visweswaran is a managing director of Arjas Modern Steel Pvt Limited and a commercial director of Arjas Steel Pvt Limited, with the overall responsibility of Arjas Modern Steel and complete responsibility of sales and marketing, commercial and procurement activities of Arjas Steel Group. Prior to join, I request, hello, I request somebody has put on the mic, somebody has put on the mic. Please mute yourself. Please mute yourself. Yeah, thank you. Prior to joining Arjas Steel in 2006, December 2006, he was Vice President Sales and Marketing with Sunflag Iron and Steel, which is one of the leading special steel manufacturers of India. Oh, you are in Sunflag, sir. I was also in Sunflag. And Pranav, of course, belongs to Sunflag thickly. So we all are from Sunflag, worked at some point of time. He was with, I was there from 90 to 92. He was with Sunflag for 10 plus years, leading their growth as a pioneer in automotive special steel sector. During 94-96, he was working with SGS India, leading the quality management system. He started his career with TVS Group in 1985, where he joined as graduate engineer trainee and worked in various capacities till 1994. Mr. Visweswaran has completed bachelor's degree in metallurgical engineering from NIT Trichy. NIT Trichy. He has also done full-time executive MBA program from IIM Bangalore and a program on cross-cultural relationships from INSEAD. He speaks several Indian languages like Telugu, Tamil, Hindi, apart from English. And here you go, Mr. Ramaswamy. Thank you very much for being with us. Mr. Ramaswamy, please.
Thanks, Mr. Chandekar, for a great section. And before I start, I should acknowledge and say I had an opportunity to get trained under Mr. Pranav for quite some time. That's
great.
My career. So I should acknowledge that. And getting into this, the distinguished guests and the panel members and the entire fraternity of Special Steels who are assembled here, and congratulate Steelworld and Mr. Chandekar for bringing the whole industry into a simple forum here to discuss their issues and find solutions and to grow forward. And as all of you know, that any country's progress is based on its infrastructure growth, and our country is reasonably doing very well, and special steel sector is one of the pillars in growing this infrastructure in a proper way. It's not that our industry doesn't have any problems. We have a lot of issues. Some are internal, which are solvable within our organizations, and many are external, which has to be discussed and solved in this forum. And certain things have become globalization. The gone are the days we have been working in a closed country and we are doing what is right for our country. But today, if guys sneezes in Ukraine, it affects us. So we all have become global, and we need to think global and try to do whatever best possible in these circumstances. I would say as challenges, the electric vehicle is coming, where all of us know our main customers are automobiles, and whether we like it or not, about 75 to 80% still goes to automobiles, even though we are finding ways and means to get foothold in defense, railways, and other infrastructure related items. We are developing all those things in this country, but automobiles are the most important. When EV comes, I am given to understand in two-wheelers and passenger vehicles, it's going to drop, and 2030, as per projections of the government itself, 50% of the two-wheelers will be EV and 10% of passenger vehicles will get into EV mode. And when you see the consumption pattern, if you take on an average 15 kgs of two-wheeler, from 150, it could come less than 100. It's somewhere around 84, 90 kgs. So these are the challenges which we need to face in the coming days, for which the industry should work together and find some solutions. Alternate material like carbon fiber and other things are also posing a lot of challenges. We can't be left out. And I'm sure in the last 20 years, the industry has been doing a phenomenal job on finding ways. That's the reason all these microalloys, and we use some of the rare metals like niobium and other things to make meet the application related quality. And this is happening. The most important challenge for the industry as a whole is how to produce the best quality in the world at the lowest cost. And of course, the industry is also evolving, and we have seen about 20-25 years back, we have been running only in electric arc furnaces. We have found blast furnace, and we are going ahead with many other modifications and technological advances, which brings the cost to a minimum possible, and a lot of yield improvements and wastage of material, everything in the process has happened. I'm pretty sure today the whole day will be well spent with people interactions and bringing out their thoughts and finding some good solutions and learnings out of this meeting. I congratulate everyone and would wish them a good day with a lot of interactions. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks, Mr. Visweswaran. Yes, steel, especially special steels, has a mix of fortunes, some challenges, some opportunities. And overall, I think it will be a very interesting journey from here on. And with a lot of, I think a lot of markets are opening up for special steels. So that's a great, of course, you mentioned about EV, and that's a big challenge because with EV coming in, how much steel will be required for automobile, that is yet to be seen, and that we can discuss later during the day. But overall, I feel that it will be a great time for special steels, and of course challenges and opportunities both included. Thanks very much, Mr. Ramaswamy. And now we move on to Mr. Pranav Bharadwaj. Before that, I just want to I got a message from Mr. V.R. Sharma. V.R. Sharma, as not many would know, that he is recently included in the Niti Aayog committee, and he has to go for that meeting, and he will address us, or he will join the conference later. So he will not be there in the inauguration session right now, but he will definitely join after some time. So now I would like to invite Mr. Pranav Bharadwaj. He is chairman of Alloy Steel Producers Association of India, Alloy Steel Producers Association, ASPA, which is commonly known as, has been very active in the field of special steels. As we all know, the apex body for special steels industry in the country. And this event, he is fortunate enough to get support from this prestigious association, ASPA. And Mr. Pranav Bharadwaj is here as chairman of ASPA. He's also managing director of Sunflag Iron and Steel, which we all are indebted to, because at one point of time we were working for Sunflag. Of course, when I was working, Mr. Pranav, your father was there, and we had interacted with Mr. P.N. Bharadwaj. And of course, Mr. Maheshwari was there as the chief executive of Sunflag that time. Anyway, so I would invite Mr. Pranav Bharadwaj to say a few words on this occasion. Mr. Pranav, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chandrasekhar. Thank you for all the delegates and all the participants for this. And thanks for Steelworld. And it's an honor for me and a privilege for me to address all of you with some of my thoughts. The alloy steel industry has come a long way. It is closely connected to the auto sector and also to the defense and railways. You know, our auto sector has also grown dramatically over the 10 years, and the technology in this sector has driven the technology adoption in the alloy steel companies. Now, all the alloy steel companies now are producing world-class critical steels, and they're investing in technology, R&D, quality management systems to upgrade the materials that they produce. All the materials are becoming more and more critical. All the specifications are becoming tighter and tighter. All the steel codes are becoming harder to achieve. The components are getting smaller. The components are stressed to a higher extent. Our highway vehicles are getting faster and faster. Our cars are running more and more fuel efficiently. Our steel requirements in each car is coming down. The component size is coming down. And the criticality of the steel is becoming higher and higher. So we expect more performance from the steel components. Therefore, we expect more performance from the steel. So the steel has to be cleaner, has to be engineered in such a way that's able to sustain the fatigue life, the temperatures, and has to be very consistent. So the dependence on our quality of the steel is extremely important. So all our ASPA companies are investing heavily into quality assurance and also technology in developing cleaner and cleaner and more effective steels. Now, we've got one fantastic advantage, inbuilt advantage in India that enables us to produce steels which have got a better fatigue life, better quality, and more consistent quality than any of our European counterparts, which is most of our steels are produced from virgin materials. Now, trap elements like copper, lead, and all this comes in scrap, reduce the quality of the steel components and the steel life, etc. So we don't have these issues. So what we find is our steel quality is inbuilt to a level which we sometimes surpass our foreign counterparts. Now, I'll take this opportunity to appreciate the Ministry of Steel. Ministry of Steel has taken quality special steels as a special sector. And it has enabled our ASPA companies to develop steels which maybe the opportunity would not have arisen to them if it wasn't for the initiatives of the Ministry of Steel. One of the initiatives was the BIS quality systems, what they put in place, where if quality steel needs to be imported, reasons why it's not produced in the country, bringing the OEMs and the importers together with the ASPA members has been very critical. And now most of the steel is being, of the OEMs, is being trying to be localized and being localized at quite a fast pace now. Then our SIMS, our steel monitoring system that has been put in place, where all steel what is being imported can be monitored and can be looked at by all of us. So that has really enabled everybody to look at what is being imported accurately, authentically, so that the reason why it's being imported can be analyzed. And most of all, the PLI scheme, which has been introduced by Ministry of Steel, I think it's been engineered and very well suited for our industry. It's been given a very wide focus and a very wide flexibility on we are able to invest from melting anywhere downwards. So if any company has a bottleneck in rolling or in heat treatment or in processing or in testing or in quality control, the investment can be broad for producing those products. So these are the, without the Ministry of Steel intervention, I think it has very much helped our industry. All our companies now are mature. We are mature companies and we're a mature industry. And we can compete globally. We can compete globally in terms of quality as well as pricing. And in India, we can easily give a much better value proposition to all our alloy steel consumers and alloy steel users than any imported company, any foreign company. But we have to have the faith in our ability and maybe investment in one or two areas where we can overcome this hump. Now, this is exactly what the Ministry of Steel's vision is and has enabled us in the PLI scheme to able to overcome this, put investment where it is required to overcome this. Okay, with this, I'd like to hand it back to you, and I congratulate Steelworld for enabling us in our comfort of our office to meet everybody and making it so convenient that we don't travel. I think it is a very good initiative, and I appreciate everybody who's participating in this conference and taking the time out of the day to hear, to be educated and to hear what each delegate has to say. And I wish this conference all the success, and thank you very much.
Thanks, Mr. Pranav, and thanks for the support which ASPA has extended to this event. That is how it has become a success, and all these people are there to, educate themselves, as you said. And yes, we have a long way to go ahead, but the journey seems interesting, as I told you. A lot of challenges and also opportunities. And during the day, of course, we will be discussing the future of special steels, and then there will be individual presentations in the second half, comprising of the corporate presentations also, and we would also touch upon some important subjects like the effect of scrappage policy recently, came into existence. The scrappage policy on special steels, the concept of the details of PLI, especially for our sector, and then concept of green steel, how far it is implemented and what needs to be implemented in the future. So all these subjects we will touch upon. And I am also sure we will have a very interesting day full of information. And I feel that we all go home more wise and more capable of some good decision making in the industry. So we take a break. I thank all the dignitaries, Mr. Paramjeet, Mr. Ramaswamy Visweswaran, and Mr. Pranav Bharadwaj, for being with us for this inauguration session of 11th Special Steels Convention and Expo. And we take a small break of 10 minutes, and we'll be back again for the very interesting session, which is panel discussion on future of special steels in the country. Thank you very much. Thank you.